Welcome back to week number 1 of the NFL season. This is going to be Chucky Delpert's NFL coaching debut, and he is going to be facing off against a division rival in the Tennessee Titans, led by Derrick Henry. It's going to be a tough matchup, but we'll see what Chucky can do in his first NFL matchup. What's up, guys? Welcome back to week number 1 of the NFL season. Quickly, I want to go over some of these stats and compare the stats for Mac Jones and Gardner Minshew and go over a few things that did happen in the preseason. Now, in the preseason, I actually wanted to record game number 4. I simmed the first 3 weeks of the preseason and played week number 4 of the preseason and split the snaps right down the middle. So Minshew played one half, Mac Jones played a half, and just to see who had the better game. And I just wanted to go over the stats and everything, but the recording that I did have for that got messed up. And I just wanted to quickly go over the stats and let you guys know why Gardner Minshew is going to be our starter for week number 1 and going forward, depending on how he does. Quickly, though, let's go over this, our season goals that we are going to be putting in place. I put in place for 7 wins, and I feel like if we get some good quarterback play out of Minshew, or if Mac Jones ends up needing to come in, I think we could be a playoff team and make a push for the playoffs, one of those wild card spots, but we'll have to see what happens. Quickly, though, I did just want to go over the preseason and everything that did happen, so you guys know why I chose to make Gardner Minshew the starter over Mac Jones. So, overall stat-wise, Minshew ended up playing about 30 or 40 more downs than Mac Jones. Gardner Minshew ended up throwing for 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Absolutely insane preseason for him. Very, very solid. In that last game, number 4, he ended up throwing 2 touchdowns, and he ended up playing the second half through 2 touchdowns. Had a pretty solid game and was fairly efficient on offense as well. Mac Jones, on the other hand, ended up throwing for 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the preseason. And he ended up throwing all 3 of those touchdowns in the 4th game. So he had 3 interceptions through 3 games to start out the preseason until that last one where he ended up throwing 3 touchdowns. So for that reason, I decided that it was not Mac Jones' time. He needed a little bit more time to develop on the bench and get some learning experience, and so I went with Gardner Minshew, and that doesn't mean that Mac Jones doesn't have a chance to get on the field. If Gardner Minshew plays bad and we end up needing to swap it over to Mac Jones, that is something that can totally happen. And just because Gardner Minshew is the starter in week number 1 doesn't mean he may be the starter the entire season. There's a long season, a lot of games to go, so we shall see how he plays. And but starting off here in week number 1, he is starting off pretty good, driving down the field. Hopefully can try to put this ball in the end zone, finds an open receiver in the back, and he does hit. I'm pretty sure that's Tyler Eifert in the back of the end zone for a touchdown, starting off 7-0 on the first drive of the game, and cannot complain about that, or at least our first drive of the game. You can see Tennessee is going to be driving here almost to midfield with a pass. I think that's Johnny Smith to almost the 50-yard line. They are driving a little bit later on in the game, and Derrick Henry with a huge leap over one of our defenders. You guys can see the replay right there, but a pretty solid leap. But again, not much to gain there, only a 2 or 3 yard gain. But on 3rd and 5, a screenplay that is not going to be working, and we are going to get the stop. And they are going to be taking a pretty long field goal. It's about a 51, 52-yard field goal, and it is going to be short, as you guys can see there, and we will continue to keep our 7-0 lead, and we'll go from there. I don't think I showed you guys. I want to show you guys the sliders that I am playing on for this game and for the entire season. Depending on how things go, I might change it up, but I'm playing on like All Pro and certain sliders that I think I found on Operation Sports. I think in the next video I'll probably show those in the beginning of the video so you guys can see what sliders I am playing on. So if the games become too difficult or easy, we can change how we feel, move the settings around to make sure the game is at least competitive. You can see there on 1st and goal, Gardner Minshew going to hit DJ Chark in the end zone for a touchdown, and we are going to go up 14-0 pretty early here in this game. Pretty solid lead here. Tennessee just doesn't seem like they can move the ball. As you guys can see, run to Jonnu Smith, I'm pretty sure, and that is going to be a TFL for Miles Jack. He is an X Factor in this, so from last year he was able to go up to X Factor. I think he was a superstar to start off, and he ended up going to an X Factor. So that was solid, definitely going to help us here this season and in the seasons moving forward. But you can see 2nd and 10 here for the Titans, hoping to drive and get some points on the board before half. Going to throw this one deep, and it is going to be caught for a first down and almost into the red zone. 28-yard reception for a huge first down. But here on 3rd and 10, Tannehill gonna drop back to pass, looking for someone to get open. Gonna throw this one underneath, and the running back does have a lot of space. And you guys can see who that is. That is gonna be Travis Etienne. It looks like they ended up drafting him to be a backup to Derrick Henry. Nice little catching back out of the backfield. And gonna go to the end zone on 3rd and goal, and that is gonna be incomplete, and they are gonna have to settle for a field goal. With 25 seconds left, we're hoping we can try to drive into field goal range, and that catch right there by Laviska Shenault is going to put us over midfield or about midfield. A couple plays later, 8 seconds left on the 37-yard line. Minshew going to drop back to pass. The pressure is getting to his face, and it's going to be a huge catch to Tyler Eifert again, putting us into the 7-yard line. We will get a field goal out of that. And that will bring us into the first drive of the 3rd quarter. Just kind of trying to control this game, control the clock here in the second half. We're up with 14 points. We do need to continue to drive, but I think we still have time to where we can try to milk the clock and hopefully drive down the field and get some points on the board. Laviska Shenault there with a huge first down catch. You can see Gardner Minshew having a pretty solid day today as well. The drive does end up stalling out, but we waste about 4 minutes on the clock, and we take a 20-3 lead. And looking pretty solid, 17-point lead heading into a little bit later. We're going to be moving here into the 4th quarter. Both offenses kind of going a little bit cold. We're kind of playing really soft offense, just trying to run some clock. And they're making stops on defense, and we're making stops on defense as well. Miles Jack with a TFL tackle. 4th and 11 for them. Tannehill dropping back to pass. They need this first down, throwing this one up, and it is going to be caught, putting them at the 29-yard line. And 4th and 2 again with the 21-yard line for Tennessee. Trying to get this first down. They're going to hand it off to Derrick Henry, and he jumps over a defender, but we knew they were going to run that ball. And we are going to get the stop there. A couple plays later, a couple drives later, we waste a little bit of time, and they end up getting the ball back. 1 minute and 51 seconds. They need 17 points. They probably should have kicked that field goal there before. Gonna hit the receiver there over the middle, but just running out of time. Almost 30 seconds left on the clock. Throwing this up with a wide open receiver, and Ryan Tannehill just misses that one. And that just describes how the entire game went for them. They beat us in passing yards, but we beat them in everything else. And we end up taking the W 20-3 today. You can check out both of the all the stats today. Tannehill not throwing a touchdown pass. They end up putting up 3 points. Gardner Minshew, 11 for 16, I'm pretty sure, there with 2 touchdowns, 182 through the air. Just a solid day. James Robinson on the ground with a solid day as well. 4.4 a carry. Can't complain about that. Gardner Minshew with a couple runs for first downs. Doing what we need to do, and we're going to get the W today. But that is going to be it for today's episode. And really looking forward. Next episode, I'll probably try to play 3 games, weeks 2, 3, and 4, and trying to bunch a lot more games into one episode. But the whole plan was to make this episode be the preseason, but with the recording being messed up, I ended up making this into just week number 1. You can check out our standings for the division. We are going to be tied with the Texans. Texans ended up beating the Colts in week number 1. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are not already. And make sure to check out the first episode of the series if you guys didn't see that either. But without further ado, I'm going to end this one off. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See you guys.